Welcome to the Scottish Highlands on the banks of the Loch Lomond. You join us for a special edition of the HOKA Highland Fling race, which this year is hosting the UK and Scottish Ultra Trail Championships. Solo and relay competitors are getting ready for the gruelling 53 miles along the West Highland Way from Milngavie to Tindrum. After yesterday's heavy snowfall, it's going to make the conditions on the foot even more challenging for what is a tough race. For the elite competitors, this is a key race in their racing calendar, with it being the British and Scottish Championships, and they will be gunning for a victory tomorrow morning. So join us as we're going to head down to the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery Museum to interview and to get to know some of these elite competitors in a Q&A session and in some solo interviews.
It's 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon and 15 hours to the kick-off of the race, so registration's open down below, so far so good. We're in the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery Museum. We're having registration here, and later on we're having a question and answer session with quite a few of the elites who are coming, all the fast runners. We couldn't get them all into the panel, unfortunately, but that's later.
Yeah, feeling really ready, physically ready to race, mentally a bit nervous, but that's always the way before a race. But I've been training hard just for the Fling this year, so all my training's been focused around this, so definitely feel physically ready. I love the Fling. It was only the second ultra I did, I think. My first one, I think it was in 2011. It's my 5th year running it this year. I've had 1 year off. So it's really special to me because it was one of the first ultras I ever did. And I made so many mistakes in the first couple of years that I learned so much about ultra running and distance running through running the Fling. So I now know what not to do and what to do in an ultra, I think largely from this trail race. So it's quite special to me, and a lot of my friends are running, and we run every year, and it's just such an amazing community. And it's just, in terms of the race organisation, the whole atmosphere, it's just one of the most special, I think, in Scotland and the UK, just because of the way John organises it. He's an absolute superstar and makes it so special for everyone. So, yeah, I think the most difficult part for me is always the start, and because the first 10 miles-ish is quite flat and runnable, there's the danger of going off too fast, which I've done this previous years, so that's definitely my least favourite, because I know it's probably the part where I can go most wrong by going too fast. But my favourite, I think I try and look forward to the hilly sections, just because I try and tell myself and trick my mind into thinking that it's a nice break from running, and you can either run really slowly or hike the hills, and it's an opportunity to take on food. So like Conic Hill I look forward to, and I try and look forward to the Lochside section for its difficulty, because you get to slow down the pace a little bit, and you have to, there's no way around it. And then the third section I really look forward to is the roller coaster hill section in the Cranladdock Hills. So when you go into the forest, it's really nice just to be undercover again, because the rest of the trail is quite exposed. So it's actually nice to run through the woods, and it's a lovely single track trail, even though it's quite hilly. You can look forward to the downhill at the end, and then you're just about at the finish, a couple of miles to go.
It will be both the furthest I've ever run and the furthest I've ever raced. So I think the furthest I've ever raced in a single day has been 40 miles, but that's actually within a multi-day race. So it would be the longest stage of a 5-day stage race. Well, for me, actually, I sort of feel like I'm in a bit of a transition phase of my career. So over the next 36, 48 months, I'm really looking towards doing some really much longer things. And first and foremost, I'm a man of the mountains, and my upbringing is in traditional fell running, hill running, and that's what I like doing. And ultimately, I'd like to do some long distance mountain challenges. So this is kind of a stepping stone on the way towards that for me, to sort of get myself comfortable with the distance in the first place, and then hopefully beyond Highland Fling, I'll be looking to making my 53-mile runs a little bit hillier. and maybe making them a little bit longer as well. Definitely looking forward to the finish. I'm looking forward to just getting out there and seeing how it feels, to be honest. It's a really good route. It's like I say, because it's so close to home, it's something that's special to me. And I'm really interested in finding out how my body does respond to running 53 miles. You know, I know I can get most of the way there, because I've done it in training, I've done it in races before. I know I could run for 7.5 hours without stopping, because I did that in the Glencoe Skyline last summer. But that was quite a lot shorter than this. So I guess a lot of it for me is about experiencing the race. There are certain parts of the course that I will look forward to particularly. I'll enjoy going over Conic Hill. I'll enjoy the section beyond Inversnaid along the Loch Lomond, where it gets quite uppy downy, and I'll definitely enjoy the finish, I hope.
And it's a fast race. I know it feels a bit, people look at it and say like, oh, what? It's fast, it's runnable. It is, like compared to some of the other races out there, a lot of the climbs, you can run up them, and it's going to be a nice, quick route. So I'm looking forward to that. It's got a good bit of history as well.
For me, it's my local race. I only live a few miles from the start, so the West Highland Way is my playing ground. I haven't done the Highland Fling since 2011, and I didn't have a particularly great race, so I've always said I want to go back and give it my best shot, and I'm going to go and give it my best shot tomorrow.
And I have no intention of being first to the first couple of checkpoints. I have every intention of being first to the last one. I think that last bit, I've looked at like splits from guys who run it before, and if you look at maybe the top 10 splits from people who run it before, Lee Kemp has the record. He was probably the 9th or 10th slowest to Ben Glass, but his last split, and it's a deceptively uphill section, isn't it?
Yeah,
you kind of think it's rolling, but it's all uphill, and if you can run that, that's where it's going to make or break the race, I think.
It is what it is on race day, and it's the same for everyone. I was a bit worried last week when it got a bit hot. I live in Glasgow, so therefore I don't do hot. So it kind of like was tipping near 18, 19 degrees, and it felt like the Sahara. So I was a bit worried that it was going to be a little bit hot, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Does it hit 18 degrees in the summer in Scotland?
Sometimes, one day it does. So I was a bit worried that it was going to get warm, but when I saw that it was going to be cool, do you know what? If it snows, it snows. If it rains, yes, that's good for me. But I think we're actually going to be. It's going to be okay tomorrow. I think we'll probably hit a really good window.
So yeah, it's been 5 years since I've been up here. I haven't set foot on the West Highland Way for 5 years, which is a little bit of a scary thought. Don't know where the time's gone. But no, it should be good, and kind of reminiscing, because when I first ran the Fling, it was 2006, so 10 years ago, and there were 18 of us, I think, and it was just kind of this chilled, like training run for the West Highland Way, and super relaxed. And now there's like 1,000 guys, and you know, just amazing setup, really professional, really slick, and like still just the lovely Fling friendly vibe. So love it, yeah, brilliant.
What? So you've not set foot on the course since the last time you were here. So what bits, you've obviously been rehearsing in your mind some of the sections and bits that you remember. What are the bits that stand out for you?
Yeah, I mean the section from Inversnaid, like north, is always like pretty tricky, and it tends to be like the break in the race. It'll be really fast up till then, it'll slow everyone down quite a bit, but like thereafter you need to sort of be able to smash it back up and get the pace going again, and there's still loads of runnable trail like in the top one, the last few sections. And I think also you look at like previous races and how they've panned out. Like there will be a leader through to like Benglass and Derry Darroch, and then there's a switch, and then there's usually just like a 2 or 3 minute gap between 1 and 2, and like Ricky seemed to get a bit unstuck like one year, and I think a similar thing happened whether it was last year or the year before. So yeah, just trying to play out a smart race and just save some gas for the last section or two, but it'll be hard because everyone will be trying to smash it up early on, no doubt. Yeah, lots of kind of fairly nervy. Like it's quite tense, really, I suppose, because like everyone's just tapered and like bursting full of energy and just like excited and raring to go. Really, it's the usual kind of pre-race vibe, but also the usual kind of fling atmosphere of just like loads of friendly faces and lovely atmosphere, really. So it's nice to be back amongst it, and yeah, just looking forward to getting going, really.
I bet you can't wait to get started now.
I know, yeah, just get on that start line. And 6 o'clock start though, it used to be 7, like, anyway, it'll be good.
As Friday draws to a close, competitors will try and get some rest tonight before a demanding day on the trail. For the elite athletes and those watching this fling race, the big question is, will Lee Kemp's and Lucy Colhegan's course record be broken along the West Highland Way from Milngavie to Tindrum? You can follow the HOKA Highland Fling race as it unfolds tomorrow on Twitter and Facebook. Make sure you watch the daily video update as well. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for what promises to be an exciting and thrilling race as people battle along the West Highland Way of the HOKA Highland Fling race.